Hey guys, welcome back to Ask a CPA, where we answer your most pressing tax, accounting, and finance questions. Today's question comes from Julia in Miami, Florida. Julia asks, I'm considering starting a bookkeeping business. How would you recommend getting started? And this is a great question. Julia, let's break this down step by step in an outline from our latest book, How to Start a Bookkeeping Business. Our new book was just released and is getting fantastic feedback. If you're interested in supporting the channel and getting your own copy of How to Start a Bookkeeping Business, you can find it in the link below in the video description, and I'll take you right to Amazon where you can purchase your own copy. So let's go ahead and jump right into this answer. It's about a 10-step process, and then we have a bonus section at the end. So let's go ahead and jump into step one, which is writing your business plan. So a business plan is a roadmap to success, and it should outline key details such as your mission statement, which is why you're starting this business in the first place, and what you hope to achieve from starting this business. Next is your target market. This is who your ideal clients are going to be. Are you focusing on small businesses, freelancers, or a specific industry like real estate or healthcare? Next is services you will be offering. So you will you be providing full service bookkeeping, payroll management, tax prep support, or financial advisory services? All these are different services that you could offer under the bookkeeping umbrella. Next is going to be your pricing strategy. Will you charge hourly by the project or use a fixed monthly retainer model? And finally, the financial projection. So estimating your expenses, your potential monthly revenue, your profitability in the first, second, third years, kind of map this out so you have those financial projections in place. Now, don't worry, it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't need to be clear. It just needs to be clear and actionable. In the book, we provide a detailed example when we go over a template to help get you started. Now, if you'd like a copy of the bookkeeping business plan template, I'll leave a link in the description down below where you can go ahead and get your free copy of the business plan template. Step two is you're gonna choose your business entity. Now, selecting the right entity is crucial for legal protection and tax efficiency. Your main options are going to be starting with a sole proprietorship. Now, this is the easiest way, but it offers no liability protection. So doing taking care of people's financials, you probably want to at least, at bare minimum, set up an LLC. Now, this is where most bookkeeping businesses are going to begin, as it provides you some sort of legal liability protection and protects your personal assets from any potential litigation. The next step is the S corporation. Now, this is beneficial for once you start making some money. If you're netting about $50,000 of net profit or more, the S corporation is going to be a huge tax saving for that self-employment tax, your FICA taxes, which is, of course, 15.3% because you're paying both sides, the employer and the employees. Next is the C corporation option. Now, this is a very less commonly used option, but the C corporation taxes have been coming down. If you're going to scale this into a much larger firm, a C corporation may be your best bet, but for most small businesses, freelancers, or side hustlers, or even this is going to be your full-time gig, C corporations probably aren't going to be the best option. Now, in the book, we break down the pros and cons of each entity. We provide a step-by-step guide on how to set up your entity. Your state and local regulations will vary, so I also recommend you consult with a CPA locally or an attorney to make sure that you're setting up the best option for your particular state. All right, step three. Now we're getting the essentials in place. So to operate professionally, you want to stay legally compliant. You need to do a few things. So first, you need to set up a business bank account. You want to keep all of your business activity separate from your personal activity. You don't want to commingle those funds, or what they call pierce the corporate veil, where it makes all of your business activity, makes your personal activity liable for any of your business activity. Next, you want to get an EIN number, employer identification number. Now, this is like the social security number for your business, and it can be obtained for free on the IRS's website. Next, you want to get some E&O insurance, or errors and omissions insurance. So this protects you against potential mistakes or litigation. Many E&O companies and policies, they'll provide you with free review of your engagement letter, or they can provide you also with pre-approved templates that you can use for your engagement letter. Next is just like a basic office setup. So you want to have your dedicated home office space, or you can do like a work share, or if you want to have a true office space, outside of your office, you could do that as well. The main things you just need to get started are going to be a computer, either a laptop or a desktop. I prefer a laptop because sometimes I like to get out of the house and work from a coffee shop or something. And a couple monitors. I really like the dual monitor setup. I think that's much more efficient. And probably a video camera for Zoom calls. Those are really popular now. And just a comfortable setup, a desk, a chair, and whatever else you need in your office space to feel comfortable and to be productive in your workday. Next is going to be your bookkeeping software. So I like QuickBooks Online, but there's also Xero and Wave and a few other accounting software options. Our firm will only work with clients using QuickBooks Online, as it's probably the largest. But there's a lot of people out there that don't like QuickBooks and they prefer another software. So pick your favorite accounting software and become the expert in that accounting software. Next is going to be a secure data storage solution. So cloud-based systems like Google Drive or ShareFile or Dropbox, or any dedicated bookkeeping platform that allows you to share files with clients is going to be a must-have. Now, setting up these systems early helps you stay organized, efficient, and compliant from day one. So make sure that you get all these essential pieces in place. Step 4 is going to be considering funding. So although bookkeeping business have low startup costs, you may still need some funds for software, for marketing and advertising, for office equipment, or even employees if you plan on hiring somebody right away. Some funding options could include an SBA loan. So if you're maybe even thinking about acquiring a book of business, you could use an SBA loan. You can use your business credit cards to kind of get everything set up, or personal savings. There are also some grants or business competitions that I've seen people be successful with. Using that money for startup costs is a great way as well. Step 5 is hiring employees. So you can do this now or you can do this in the future, but many bookkeepers start solo, but as your business grows, you may need to hire either a virtual assistant to handle some of your administrative work, or another bookkeeper to manage some additional clients. If you're taking on more work than you can actually personally take care of, hiring the next bookkeeper is a great way to scale your business. Or even as you get even larger, a business development professional can help bring in even more clients. In our firm, we just brought on a business development professional this year, and we have about 20 employees. So it's kind of a little bit down the road, but they're great as well. So understanding payroll, independent contractor agreements, and employment contracts is essential as you expand. Within the book, we dive into this pretty heavily and go over all the different guidelines that you'll need to know when hiring employees or hiring contractors. So step 6, we're really flowing now. So now it's on to branding and marketing. So to attract clients, you'll need to build a strong brand. And this starts with a professional business name, a logo, and a website. An optimized LinkedIn profile and social media presence is huge nowadays. Networking with small business groups, industry events, CPAs, financial advisors, business attorneys, estate attorneys. These are all great networking to help grow your brand. And finally, setting yourself up on Google My Business, or Yelp. Those are also great ways to establish credibility with your clients and to bring in additional new work. Within the book, we also have a step-by-step branding strategies to help you stand out and really kind of take over your area. All right, step 7, setting your pricing model. Now, this is probably one of the most important chapters of the book. So setting the right pricing model is crucial for the success of your bookkeeping business. Your pricing should reflect the value that you provide while ensuring that you maintain profitability. So consider the following pricing structure. So first, hourly pricing. This is kind of the most common pricing model. This works best for clients who require maybe occasional services such as consulting or troubleshooting, or they have a sporadic bookkeeping assistance that they need. It provides you some flexibility, but it can be difficult to scale this as your client base grows, because these they tend to need work when you're at your most busy time of year. So I try to limit the amount of hourly projects that we take on. But the next is project-based pricing. Now, this is ideal for one-time cleanup jobs. You'll often see this when you're bringing on a new client. You'll have to go back a few years and clean up a bunch of their work, so then you can start taking them on as a monthly go-forward client. This could also include system setups or historical bookkeeping corrections. Now, this model, it allows you to charge a set fee for a defined scope of work, ensuring that you're compensated fairly for a large, intensive project. Now, when we do these, we typically bill this by the hour, but provide the client with an estimated price range. So, for example, we would tell a client we'll bill them $125 an hour, and we estimate the total project to be around $3,000 to $4,500. So it kind of gives them that price range where they can anchor that price in their head and kind of know what it's going to be going forward. But we're still tracking our time and billing that hourly. Next is going to be the flat retainer, the monthly retainer. Now, this is the preferred pricing strategy or model because it's reoccurring income. Now, this approach allows you to charge a set fee each month, providing both you and your client with predictable expense. Retainers are also encouraged for long-term client relationships and value-based pricing. Some considerations, those are kind of the three different pricing models. You have hourly, project-based, and flat monthly fees. So some considerations to consider while you're pricing these. So know your costs. So calculate your expenses, include your software costs, office supplies, your labor costs. Ensure that you're covering your overhead while still making a profit. When we look at any kind of project, we're looking at on a third basis. So a third is going to be our employee cost. So when we're scoping a project, we take that into account. A third is going to be company overhead. This is going to be software, supplies, things like that, office space. And then the third is going to be profitability. So a third. So kind of keep your costs within those range. But keep in mind, the profitability bucket is always the first one to shrink. You still got to pay your employees. You still have to pay rent and your other fixed costs, your software costs. So make sure that you're pricing that right so that you can still make money in that third. Next, understand your market. So research your competitors' pricing and position your rates competitively. You know, you do want your clients to push back a little bit. You want to be on the higher end. If every client says, "Okay, great, that sounds great. You sound very affordable," then you need to raise your prices. You shouldn't be the cheapest place in town. Next is value-based pricing. So instead of just trading hours for dollars, a lot of people now are pricing their services based on the value and their expertise that they bring to the client's business. This can be a little more difficult to do, but it's becoming very popular. So just Google value-based pricing and kind of see how people are coming up with those strategies. It's an interesting model. We don't really necessarily do that. We're more on the fixed price. Value pricing is a little bit tricky, but it's definitely becoming more popular. Next is scalability. So choose a model that allows you to grow without being tied strictly to the number of hours you work. And finally, transparency. Clearly communicate pricing and scope to avoid disputes or misunderstandings with your clients. So within the book, we provide step-by-step guidance on how to set competitive and profitable rates while avoiding some of these common pitfalls. With the right pricing strategy, your bookkeeping business can thrive while ensuring you're fairly compensated for your expertise. All right, step 8, master the bookkeeping process. Now, an efficient workflow is essential to maintain accuracy and meeting client expectations. Your bookkeeping process should include client onboarding. Now, this is establishing clear contracts, collecting necessary documents, and setting up the bookkeeping software. This ensures a smooth communication and streamlined operations from the start. Next is monthly reconciliation. So regularly reconcile bank accounts, credit cards, and loans to maintain accurate financial reports. Stay on top of reconciliations, prevents errors, and it helps identify discrepancies early so clients stay happy. Next, financial reporting. So provides clients with timely, insightful financial reports, including P&Ls, profit and loss statements, balance sheets, and cash flow summaries. And finally, tax prep collaboration. So keep financial records tax ready for the CPAs by ensuring proper categorization of transactions and tracking deductible expenses. Working with CPAs is a huge way to bring in new business if you do a good job, and their CPA will see that. If they don't do books in-house, they can certainly recommend you to other clients that they have. Let's see. All right. Step 9, understanding business taxes. So, bookkeepers play a crucial role in managing and understanding business taxes. Some key responsibilities include the income taxes. So, the tax obligations of a business depend on its entity type. So, sole proprietor, and LLC, and S corp, C corp. Understanding these differences allows you to provide better advice to clients. If you're keeping your clients' books on a tax basis, you'll want to tie out the prior year's tax return to the current books. Payroll taxes, if your business has employees or the companies have employees, staying compliant with payroll tax requirements is essential to avoid any penalties or potential issues. Next is sales tax. So certain businesses must collect and remit sales tax depending on the state regulations. So ensuring compliance prevents costly audits and fines. Always make sure if you have product-based clients or even service-based clients, that if they are providing something that is subject to sales tax, that they are charging their customers sales tax, remitting it timely. That'll really keep them out of trouble. So understanding deductions, tax compliance, and record keeping will not only save your business money, but will also enhance your value that you provide to your clients. All right, step 10, protect yourself with legal contracts. So establishing strong legal contracts is essential to safeguarding your bookkeeping business. So some of the key agreements will include client engagement letters. Now, this clearly outlines the scope of work, the payment terms, and the expectations to prevent any misunderstandings or disputes with your clients. Next is non-compete agreements. This protects your business by preventing employees or subcontractors from taking clients or competing directly with you. Next is confidentiality clauses. Now, this ensures client data remains secure and confidential to build trust and maintain compliance with any financial regulations. Now, implementing these legal contracts from day one will help protect your business and establish professional credibility with your clients. All right, guys, that is the 10 steps needed to start your bookkeeping business. Now let's jump into the bonus section, number 11, which is going to be considering buying an existing book of business. So if you want to fast track your business for growth, buying an existing bookkeeping firm can be a really viable option. Before making a purchase, take a few things into account. So first, review the financials carefully. So examine revenues, expenses, profitability to determine if the business is even worth the investment. Next, check with the client contracts. So ensure that the existing contracts are transferable, and review service agreements to confirm client commitments. So you don't want to buy a whole book of business and then half the clients leave. Next, interview clients and some of their key employees. Gain insights into customer satisfaction and the work culture to assess if the business aligns with your personal goals. Now, the due diligence is crucial before acquiring any business. Thoroughly evaluate the financials, the legal obligations, the operating structure to ensure that you're making an informed and profitable decision. I would definitely hire a CPA and a business attorney to go through and help you with that due diligence process. All right, guys, that is it. So if you are considering starting a bookkeeping business, it's super exciting. I love the accounting field and the bookkeeping field. So for a detailed roadmap, grab a copy of How to Start a Bookkeeping Business today. And if you got any questions about starting your own bookkeeping business, make sure to drop them in the comments down below. I'll be happy to answer those, or you can shoot me a private message. I'd be happy to jump on a call and go over your strategy with you and help make any recommendations. Like I said, I've had my practice for 10 years. It's been super profitable. We have 20 employees doing well, growing every year. And it's really a great business. So if you're considering starting your own bookkeeping business, grab a copy of the book and reach out if you have any questions. And good luck. And thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next Ask a CPA video. Take care.